having kids and being either a full-time employee or a full-time entrepreneur, because you're either one or the other. And it is pretty challenging. We all know the challenges that come with having kids and also keeping you in the right state of mind and doing everything that you possibly can for them, but also at the same time putting up with their attitudes. They're human beings after all, and they have good mornings and bad mornings and good days and bad days and so on. So you have to facilitate all this in their children. At the end of the day, even if they're teenagers, they still are not at a consenting age where they understand their feelings or their frustrations. So it's important to be accommodating into all of these things. And sometimes your ego just gets in the way. It gets you, it tells you that you have to basically show them who's boss. And I believe that's not necessarily always the right way to do it. There are times where, when you see them going in a direction that is not healthy for them, nor for your family, then you have to put your foot down. But then there are times where you have to understand that these are individuals, these are people with feelings, and they are strongly dependent as children still on what we think about them, how we treat them, how we take care of them. And so it is definitely very challenging. And this adds to this challenge is if they're not in the best of health, if there's a weather change and they're a little bit under the weather, so to speak, and they need a bit of healing. In addition, that adds an additional layer of challenges to that. And it is without a doubt quite a handful when you have kids and when you have to manage them, and also you have to manage yourself uh, at the same time, so that you are in a sane state of mind and not overcomplicated. And one of the interesting things that happened today was I got delayed taking my kids to school because of so many other complications. And it was just a 10 minutes delay. And the most important thing is to realize school is more of a place where they come to, of course, learn to come on time and also to socialize, to build their character, not necessarily to educate, because school is no longer considered an educational institution. Uh, it's more about building characters, learning social etiquette, and so on and so forth. The internet, when it came out, it surpassed school back in the 90s. So, but of course, there is a little bit of important things when it comes to education. The most important, I believe, is the ability to read and write and comprehend and express oneself. And of course, set a lovely guideline from the different subjects that they teach into what topics that interest you the most. So there are still some valuable points to school, but as most people know, schools have taken on a rather unusual roles these days, programming our kids in ways that are not necessarily what we feel is aligned with our values. But then it is what it is. It is a public institution. They try to satisfy everyone else, especially their constituents. So, and of course, more than anything, school is a safe place to have your most valuable uh, possessions. I would say, I wouldn't use the word possession, but the things that you value the most, your children, they've been taken care of. They're under very healthy-ish conditions, and so more or less like babysitters, while you have to go out there, work, and ensure that your family has something good. And But coming back to the point of there are so much demand sometimes at school, and is it necessary that we align with all these demands? Is it, or should we speak up and say what do we feel about these specific requirements, additional requirements that schools have on children and parents as well? Because at the end of the day, as someone who's running businesses and someone who has to take care of multiple things, I feel that there are times where you can just say, no, I don't feel comfortable my kid participating in this specific activity, or we're not able to come in and support this activity, or so on and so forth. And also, I feel that we as parents have to, first of all, make our children understand our own values, our own core family values. And that's what I feel today is lacking, is that parents have become robots, more or less, just a hamster on the hamster wheel at work, running about, and with very little time to communicate with their children, interact with them, speak about your values and your visions and your desires, and so on. So, that is what we would like to discuss. And if you have some amazing thoughts on this, on how you're bringing up your children, how you're bestowing your values upon them, do let us know.